have the Pledge of Allegiance, and our people who are presenting the pledge today are Trevor Zimmerman, I'll get it right, 5th grade from the Lewisburg Elementary School, and Lee McNeil, 5th grade from Lewisburg Elementary School. So if you guys will come forward for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much.
Great job, guys.
At this time, we would like to approve our agenda. Before we start, we would like to remove new business item A. Permission to construct baseball training pavilion at DeSoto Central High School. We need further review on this. We need a recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend to the board to approve the agenda with the change to new business letter A.
I need a motion.
Make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, so the motion is passed. The next item on our agenda is the superintendent's report. Mr. Olson.
Madam President, I've got 5 items this evening. First of all, I'd like to ask Mr. Rob Chase, our Chief Operations Officer, to come forward. We have an employee that we would like to recognize this evening.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Fortunate to get to stand before you and introduce someone, kind of the same token we did this time last year. Phi Beta Mu is an international music fraternity. It was established to recognize music educators and contributors to music education across the world. Mississippi began its chapter in 1957. Since that time, the Mississippi chapter recognizes an individual whose career work is an exemplary model of outstanding music education in our state. The award is voted by membership in fraternity, and the award is given during the annual Mississippi Bandmasters Convention, which is now Natchez, Mississippi. For the second year in a row, a band director from DeSoto County is the award winner. It is an honor to introduce the 2018 Phi Beta Mu Most Outstanding Band Director of the Year to Mr. Dennis Cox of DeSoto Central High School.
Congratulations, Mr. Cox. He does an outstanding job as band director. So high school, we're very proud of all that he's accomplished. Also, at this time, we have a group of students that our board would like to recognize, and I'm going to ask the district athletic director, Mr. Anthony Jenkins.
Good afternoon.
Good.
We want to recognize the DeSoto Central High School cheerleaders for winning the 6A medium varsity state championship in cheer. I think this is their 4th state championship with this school. I'm going to ask Ms. Harlow to come forward and tell us a little bit about all the things that they did this year.
Hello, I'm Marie Harlow, and I am with DeSoto Central High School Cheer. And some of our accomplishments this year, I'll start from the very beginning of 2018. We also won the UCA Super Varsity National Championship in Orlando, Florida. And that was the game day division we did for the first time ever, and we won it, so we were very excited about that. Then we moved on to starting with our new squad for the new year, and we went to Masters Camp at Ole Miss, where we won everything in most improved, best executed, rally routine, overall performance, standout, and a traditional award. So we were really excited to start the year off again that way. Then we moved on to our first competition of the season, and that was in Jackson, Mississippi. We did the Deep South Cheer, where there we won the first place in game day. We won first place in the traditional routine. Then we won best stunts, and then we beat everybody in the entire competition that competed in all divisions, and we were the grand champions. So we were very excited about that. Then we moved on to our regional championship, which is here in South Haven. And we won first place in game day and then first place in the traditional routine again. And then it was time for our state competition where, as Mr. Jenkins said, we won the 6A medium varsity traditional routine in that. This year you can only compete in one routine, and we chose the traditional routine where we won state. So we're excited about that. And then pretty soon we move on to nationals again. So with it, I brought all the girls that are very successful in their cheer year. And I have Amber Avent, Brianna Brewer, Molly McNear, Mackenzie McIntyre, Journey Norris, Mackenzie House, Michaela Edwards, Riley McPhail, Aiden Gutierrez, Hartley Houston, Leah Image, Gracie Gita, KB Ferguson, Rivers Wright, Sarah Klink, Fallon Eccles, Martha Chandler Raleigh, Emma Stewart, Haley Malone, Reagan Matthews, Anna Jones, Emma McNear, just keep coming, Alyssa Nichols, Natalie Satchfield, Ashlyn Tony, Shanna Wallace, and Elena Martinez.
All right, let's give them all a big round. Mr. Johnston, come up over here. Stay up there. Get a big group picture.
And some on the stage and some down the line.
Just like state.
Yeah, you can go.
Squeeze in, get tighter.
Okay.
Get on stage.
Yeah.
One,
Okay. Right. Try and get these tables out.
Very good. At this time, we've got a very special group of employees that we want to recognize. Our Teacher Advisory Council has been serving in that capacity since last February. And I know as board members and the superintendent both, we always want to get feedback from our teachers. They've done an excellent job over the last year. We've had several times they've had to come in for meetings. They actually met today. They designed a tentative calendar that will be presented to the board at our February meeting. And so they've been working on that, and we'll get that information. We'll have that to look at between now and February. But they've done such an excellent job of representing their schools. And today was their last official meeting on this year's Teacher Advisory Council, so we want to recognize them individually.
Danielle Abner, Walls Elementary School. Jennifer Bruce, Lake Ormond Elementary School. Quintarius Gaines, Lake Ormond Middle School. Carl Malman, Lake Ormond High School. Catherine Johnson, Greenbrook Elementary School. Jamie Cater Parrish, Hope Sullivan Elementary School. Janice Morrell, South Haven Elementary School. Tiffany Moss, South Haven Intermediate School. Laverne Bird, South Haven Middle School. Timothy Gardner, South Haven High School. Amber Luther, DCAC. Christy Nab, Magnolia School. Ashley Berryhill, Career Tech Center East. Christy Rochelle, Career Tech Center West. Robin Smith, Shadow Oaks Elementary. Kelly Sumners, Horn Lake Elementary School. Tamara Dunlap, Horn Lake Intermediate School. Jennifer Morris, Horn Lake Middle School. Hortensia Mixon, Horn Lake High School. Janet Hildebrand. Kimberly Scarberry, Fernando Hills Elementary School. Sandra T, Oak Grove Central Elementary School. Melinda Austin, Fernando Middle. And Michaela Whitten, Fernando High. Olivia Shannon Crumley, Lewisburg Primary School. Holly Ingberg, Lewisburg Elementary School. James Wiltshire, Lewisburg Middle. Amy Hoffman, Lewisburg High. Jennifer Bourbonnais, Overpark Elementary School. Pam Hennon, Center Hill Elementary School. Susan Gabrock, Center Hill Middle School. Tony Coleman, Center Hill High School. Elizabeth Richardson, Pleasant Hill Elementary School. Bethany Ramage, DeSoto Central Primary School. Reese Ingalls, DeSoto Central Elementary School. Gail Whiteside, DeSoto Central Middle School. Mary Kylie Ruff, DeSoto Central High School. Deidre Sullivan, Chickasaw Elementary. Roseanne Parker, Olive Branch Elementary School. Katie Hales, Olive Branch Intermediate School. Julie Ann Reno, Olive Branch Middle. And Lisa Webb, Olive Branch High School.
We want to thank our teachers for serving on Teacher Advisory Council, and we want to thank y'all for all of your hard work in the classroom and for all y'all on a daily basis with our students. So we will wrap it up this portion, and so if you were to cheer or band or the Teacher Advisory Council, if you would like to leave, now would be a good time to leave. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. You're welcome.
Love your neck before I go.
Don't tell me that.
I'll do it.
All right, for our board members at this time, we'd like to, as we do every January, give you an update on our two goals that we had in our strategic plan. And we'll just go over these very briefly. I'll ask Ms. Weeks to get us started on that.
Okay, the two goals we're focusing on this year are offering multiple graduation pathways for high school completion through the implementation of the new graduation requirements and options, and also for dual credit and vocational. This is the first year we've had those in place for our incoming ninth graders this year. We have increased our dual enrollment participation by 57% since 2015. So we're very proud of that. And we are looking to add a vocational dual credit class very soon. So we're planning on expanding that. So in addition to implementing those graduation options, we implemented the dual credit enrollment possibilities for our students, and they're really taking advantage of that. We're real proud of those numbers. Mr. Spencer, would you like to say anything about graduation options or? All right, and then the next goal is developing a long-range plan to assist in prioritizing the allocation of funding for facility renovations and construction. We're going to ask Mr. Chase to just kind of give us a brief update of where we are there.
Quick update on the facilities. A couple board member meetings ago, you approved for us to go ahead and solicit bids on our additional construction. Remind you, those are Oak Grove, Hernando Elementary, and then 4 classrooms at Lewisburg Elementary and 2 at Lewisburg Primary. We will open bids next week, so at our next board meeting, we will bring to you contracts to vote on at those times. Same thing, we should be breaking ground on all 4 of those projects about middle of next month. Also coming forward before you is our upgrade. We talked about we needed to expand our bus parking lot and the upgrades at Olive Branch Intermediate bus parking lot. Those are also going to be coming to you next week. We'll open bids there. Phase 2 of the HVAC project at Hernando High School will be coming a month later. All those are on track. And also OBIS, we have one more summer at OBIS, and this will completely have renovated. This will be windows and doing that. But the next 3, that one, and also one we budgeted through the general budget as an upgrade. As most of y'all know, we've been doing a lot to Hope Sullivan Elementary. And now it's time to actually go into the classroom. So this year we'll be abating all of those classrooms, because those are an older school, so we've got to still deal with asbestos. We will be updating all of those and putting new tile, VC tile in those classrooms, along with the final phase at South Haven Middle School, which is the upstairs of the 6th grade building. We'll be taking care of those. So we'll be bringing over the next 2-3 board meetings, we're going to be bringing you all those projects, and all that will be slated to begin in the next month and end before school starts in July.
Thank you. This time of year, it's like we've already moved into 2019-20 as we get ready for next school year. It's a great update on both of those this week, so Mr. Chase. We appreciate that. Board members have any questions for either one of them? Thank you. Well, we always do our teacher spotlight segment at the end of my superintendent's report, and I think we've got some students here with us tonight, possibly, and they have been very patient waiting through these other segments, so I do appreciate that. But at this time, I would like to introduce our principal of Lewisburg Elementary School, Ms. Sherry Anderson, to introduce the teacher spotlight.
Good afternoon. First, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity just to spotlight some of the amazing things that's going on at Lewisburg Elementary School. We have a really good group of dedicated students and teachers, and so whenever we have the opportunity to share what's going on in our school with you, we really want to take advantage of that. So today, Ms. Holly Ingberg, she's a 5th grade teacher. She's self-contained, so she teaches all subjects. She is here today to show you some of those awesome things that are going on. Just to give you a little bit of background about Ms. Ingberg, she was the 2013 Teacher of the Year for DeSoto Central Elementary School. She was also chosen as DeSoto County Schools Teacher of the Year in the year of 2013. Our Teacher of the Year at Lewisburg Elementary School actually moved to another school district, so she stepped into the Teacher Advisory Council role this year and has filled that for us. And so that's been a great help. She's been our voice speaking to you all about the school. And so anyway, I'm going to turn it over to her and let her spotlight some of the amazing things that are going on.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to spotlight Lewisburg Elementary School today. You'll be hearing from some of my students a little bit later on. I decided to bring them on board because really that's what it's all about. It's about students and what they're learning and watching them grow is why I do what I do. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. There are, actually, before I move to the next slide, if you'll notice the hashtags that I have listed on my opening slide, when I was asked to do this presentation, there were several phrases that came to mind describing our school. Relationships matter, we're data-driven, we have community partnerships, learning is fun, and we're always working to grow. So all of the things that I'm going to share with you this afternoon fall under those hashtags that I call them, and we'll notice those as we go along. The first thing that I want to discuss about Lewisburg Elementary School is if you enter our building, you may hear somebody say or ask, are you showing that Patriot Pride? We have so many students in our school, and showing Patriot Pride is something that we always aim to do. Every year, each year at the beginning of the year, students are taught what is Patriot Pride. And so the P stands for positive attitude, the R stands for respect everyone always, the I is integrity, D determination, and E is excellence. Our students have the opportunity to earn Patriot pennies daily, and they can exchange those Patriot pennies for rewards at the end of the month. They can buy lunch passes, hat passes, they can buy patio passes, as you can see from our photo up there. Some of my students actually purchased Pie the Principal pass, so they actually got to pie Miss Anderson this year, which was fun to watch. I don't know about her so much, but my students really enjoyed that. And our students also have the opportunity to earn a Patriot Pride Award. And their name gets called over the intercom, they get recognized with a certificate and a photo with our principals. And this just really encourages positive behavior in our school and has really been successful so far. Relationships matter. We're all about building relationships in our schools, inviting our school resource officer, since he's been in our building, the students have been curious, and so inviting him into our classrooms and building those relationships with him is very important. He comes and tells us students about what he does, and just building that relationship with that resource officer is important. Our students in our school also celebrate staff. Birthdays are important. We invite the maintenance staff into our classrooms. If cafeteria staff's having a birthday, our students are sure to make a birthday card or just let them know that we know that they're a part of our team and we make them feel important. We have a Veterans Day celebration every year where we're inviting veterans into our school, their parents, grandparents, and their staff as well, and just letting them know that we feel like they're important and inviting them into our building so that they can build those relationships with students and teachers is important. At the end of the year, we also have a 5th grade career day where you invite people from around the community to come and share what they do with our students, because application is an important piece with education and teaching. It's about applying what the students are learning and going into the world. And bringing those professionals into our building and letting those kids see where they might be one day is important. Community involvement is another important aspect of Lewisburg Elementary School. We do lots of service projects. Each teacher every year selects 2 classroom ambassadors, and these students are based on classroom recommendations, or just recommendations from teachers and staff. They participate in various service projects throughout the year: Thanksgiving food drive, writing letters of gratitude, helping with Christmas decorations around our building. And this year we're going to be doing a big fundraiser for the Bedore Center, and they're going to be actively involved in that, taking that leadership role, taking a field trip to the Bedore Center and actually getting to really show support for local places that need us. And they're also going to get to send some care packages later on to some of our military who are family members of our staff and students. We have our Honor Society as well, and this year they sponsor shoe boxes for soldiers. So letting students see that they can be involved and they can help out our community is very important. For the past several years, we've had an outreach program. Jennifer Morrison, our assistant principal, created this outreach program. It's called Patriot Partners. This is a very important piece to what we do every day. Is not only do we teach children, but we also show them what they can do with the knowledge that they're getting. We invite experts from the field into our classrooms. So if we're studying a specific skill, if we're studying the weather, we contact Ms. Morrison and she's able to bring in those experts, meteorologists. We've had storm chasers come visit our school. We've had doctors, we've had graduate students enter our building. We've had an editor from our newspaper, Mr. Bob, come to visit and share what he does to show those students how they can apply writing to real life careers. And just that application piece we know is very important and allows students to see their schoolwork as preparation for the future and for college and career. One new thing that we've started this year is called Patriot Block, and this is also a very important piece to what we do every day. We're always wanting to grow. If we're not growing, if we're not working out of our comfort zone, we're not growing. And so we're always pushing those students, trying different things to see what works. Patriot Block is new. It's daily, every day from 7:40 to 8:10. This is a time that's set aside where every staff member is actively working with a group of students. It could be a small group, it could be one-on-one, but we're looking at data from past assessments and current assessments and really working with those students one-on-one during that time. That time is specifically dedicated to that. So we're going to see where that takes us and continue pushing our students. And I know we're going to reap the benefits of that later. Data-driven, and we're always working to grow. I want to share with you some of the things that I do in my classroom. Room C17 is our classroom. We're working to grow. Relationships matter, and I have lots of student involvement. The very first day my students enter the classroom, they create self-portraits. We wrap our classroom in readers and writers for the year. So you can see the picture at the top. You can see all the self-portraits that they drew and painted, and also that's an icebreaker. The students get to know one another. I get to know them. It's a relaxed environment and makes them feel welcome and relaxed. We also create a social contract and student involvement and hearing from students and listening to students. What do they want their classroom to look like this school year? How do they want me to treat them? How do they want to be treated by one another? That's an important relationship that we need to build before we can begin any kind of content learning. So they sign a social contract. You can see that picture on the pink poster. Patriot Pride posters, you can kind of see the students are holding them up. We talked about Patriot Pride earlier, but we want the students to really know what that means. What does it mean to show your Patriot Pride? So we ask students, when you think of Patriot Pride and you think of positive attitude, what does that look like to you? We have them illustrate that, make posters, and those are posted up outside our classrooms all year, just to remind those students, hey, are you showing your Patriot Pride? What does that look like? Remember when we did that at the beginning of the year? And that encourages that positive behavior. One new thing that I started this year is called Morning Choice. When students enter my classroom first thing in the morning time, I have several students that are out at clubs, students that are outside for tutoring. So we have a come and go group of students often. So instead of me giving them an assignment when they enter my classroom, I opted to do something called Morning Choice. It wasn't my idea, I borrowed it from a teacher. But I let the students pick what are some good activities that you'd like to do when you come to the classroom that you could just get started on when you come in. And some of them chose drawing, art. I have some artists in my classroom. Their art skills have really come out during that time. That's where my news crew formed. They brought that idea to me. Well, I think we should have a news crew. Okay, let's run with that. So that's how that group kind of got started. I'm going to let them talk to you about that later. But we also have some kids that love Legos. They love building Legos. They get to come to school in the morning and just watching their creations for just that short amount of time, just as an icebreaker in the mornings. It gets their attitude. Coming to school and get to do that first thing, it brightens the day. Baseball cards, I had a group of boys bring in some baseball cards, and they were talking sports. So just having that time set aside in the morning, just a great way to start the day. Focus board is something that I've done for several years as well. I borrowed this idea. I just remember being in school as a student, coming to school with a lot of things that were weighing on my mind every day, and not being able to focus on what I needed to focus on. So every morning I give my students the opportunity, it's optional, to write down things that are super exciting that are going on in their lives. They just want to get out and they write that on the board and share it. Or if they have something that they're struggling with and they can't get it off their mind and they want to share that with their class, they write it on the board. And you can take a look at some of the things that were actually written on our board. And not only is that a wake-up call for me, if a student's having a bad day, I can look at that board and I can know that, hey, there's something going on. Or, hey, they are so excited about their Disney World vacation coming up. That's why they're not focusing on what I'm doing right now. So just it kind of helps me as well. But those kids can also find relationships and maybe find somebody, to relate to when it comes to that. So that's just a great way build those socio-emotional, address those socio-emotional concerns that students might have, because I teach more than just academics. I also have to address the socio-emotional aspect. Parent-family involvement. I have an open invitation to my classroom. Used to, when I was a first-year teacher, I was so nervous about anybody coming into my classroom, but as time has gone on, I know it's about having a window into my classroom. It builds support for my classroom, and getting that support from the community is only going to help. So I'm a big advocate for social media. If you follow me on social media, you know I pretty much post all of the amazing things that we're doing at Lewisburg Elementary School in our classroom, because I want our community and I want parents to see what their children are doing. They're more likely to help out when I need items and things like that, because they can see how I'm applying those and helping their students learn. We had a grandparents' night. We had students come in with their grandparents and take selfies using Padlet.com, and showing those grandparents and parents the technology that's being used is important as well, and that gets them excited. So the kids were getting to teach their parents and grandparents some things that they had learned in our classroom. So incorporating the community and parents, we know, is very important, and we do that at Lewisburg Elementary School. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, because I'm such a big advocate for our foundations grant that is offered to teachers every year. I always take that opportunity. And I always try to think of something that students would not be able to do otherwise. So most of the time, it's been a dissection opportunity, because from the very first time that I wrote the grant for dissections, every year when I get new students, they're like, are we going to dissect this year? So the pressure's on for me every year to write a grant for dissecting something, but I want it to be meaningful, and I want it to be applicable to that group of students. So getting their feedback, also making it match the standards. Our science standards changed this year, so I had to tweak it a little bit to make it worth the while. But I've had a Baptist DeSoto cardiologist come into my classroom and dissected a pig heart. These are 5th graders that are actually getting to do this. And I didn't get to dissect anything until I was in 9th grade. But a pig heart, we had a St. Jude doctoral student come in. My students dissected a sheep brain last year. We had a wildlife biologist come in and help facilitate a frog dissection. We dissected squid, owl pellets. These are just really cool opportunities that I know will be unforgettable for students. So always taking the opportunity to go above and beyond matters. And I know my students will come back and they'll remember these things, and the learning behind it is just, there's so much that comes out of it. And I just hope one day maybe I have sparked interest in one of these careers that these local professionals have come in to share with us about. Another thing that I've written a grant for is the buddy bench. That is a bench that we have at recess. I wanted to write a grant for something that I knew would benefit students school-wide, not just my group of students in my classroom. So one year I got the grant for the buddy bench, and that's just a place for students to go and sit when they're feeling lonely at recess, they need a friend, or just somebody to talk to. So that's been a really good tool that our students have used at Lewisburg Elementary School, and it's just, again, building those relationships because they matter, and also a bullying prevention. So when students need a friend, you better believe when somebody goes to sit on that bench at recess, there's a student right there asking, hey, come play with us, or hey, what's going on? So that's just been a great tool for building relationships at Lewisburg. And one of the last activities I want to share with you before we get to the students is the best part of me activity. I began the year with this activity. Students had to identify their best feature, and they had to write about why they chose that feature and how they were going to use that feature to better themselves academically and in real life. I wish you could see those a little bit better, and I knew that was going to be a little bit of an issue, but I just want to share one of them with you, because just listening to what these students wrote, which is no help by me, just amazes me, and this is another reason why I do what I do. I'm going to share with you the first one. The best part of me. The best part of me is my mouth. It is the ultimate source of communication. I can laugh, talk, sing, scream, and smile. I can use my mouth to share information, feelings, or just share the gospel. With your mouth, you can spiritually save lives. You can sing songs to express your moods. I can sing songs about our Savior Jesus Christ. My mouth loves to sing songs about Imagine Dragons and likes to talk about Mississippi State. My mouth is the best part of me. So these were just really amazing to read. Learning is fun, working to grow. That's what Lewisburg Elementary is all about. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce our news crew. They're going to tell you all about the news crew, and then they have a quick video that they want to share with you today. Anna?
we are the news crew. We make fun and educational videos of our classroom and school every week. I edit.
I fill in and do the opening and closings.
I have my own segment. And I interview.
Before we start, we want to tell y'all how we first got started.
So I thought of doing a classroom newspaper, but then I met someone who did iMovie. That was me. So Lee and I teamed up. And after we got to planning, we asked the second person if we could do a news crew. And she said yes.
I came to them and asked them if I could be any of the assistants, and they said yes.
That's where I come in. I qualified for a spot in the news crew.
We couldn't decide who to put in the news crew, so we had a battle for the news crew spot.
It was me up against Lady Lily. I won for the spot in the news crew, but Lady Lily was an amazing competitor. So that's where we are today. We're in week 23 out of 36. And now for the video.
My favorite part about the news crew is that they do their best to make us happy.
Favorite part about the news crew is the interviews.
What I like about the news crew is that they tell us everything outside of the classroom.
Favorite part about the news crew is the interviews because they're so fun.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and I do replacements and opening and closing.
Hi, my name is Mary Olivia, and I sometimes help interview, and I have my own segment for the Focus of the Week.
My name is Lee, and I do the interviews.
Hello, my name is Davin, and in the news crew, I help by editing videos and holding the camera.
Our principal, Miss Anderson. Good morning. And we are about to interview her, and I'm so excited. Miss Anderson, yes. How many years have you been teaching?
I've taught for 6 years, and this is my 5th year as an educator, so almost 11 years. I'm sorry, not educator, principal. Almost 11 years.
So, you have some experience on the run.
I do.
Are you excited to be at Memorial University?
I'm super excited to be here. All the kiddos, everybody, they've taken me in and has made me feel like part of my family, and so I'm really grateful for that, and I'm having a lot of fun with a lot of the kiddos.
We certainly are bringing her in. That's probably my favorite because she is our family. And how do you feel about the
That's my favorite part of the day, actually, right here. I love helping all the kiddos. I get to learn about my kiddos, and they get to tell me things about them, and that's absolutely my favorite part of the entire day. And then, if I have to have my mess, just fluff and hugs and whatever, I got hugs this morning, and I have kiddos that love me, so it's awesome.
I'm sorry, that's all the time we have for today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Show that Patriot pride.
Guys, it's Davin from the news crew again. This is a quick tip I learned from a math book I got. It's any two-digit number times 11. So say you got the problem 53 times 11. So the first order of action is to add 5 plus 3, the two digits, which obviously equals 8. Then put 8 in the middle of 53, 583. And that will be your answer. In the next segment, I shall show you how I got this using not this tactic, but the actual standard algorithm. We're back, and as you can see, our work are all laid out right here. All perfect, 583. And the correct answer is 583. So,
When you get into the classroom, write down your homework in your planner, and then move your lunch clip, and then you can go play morning choice.
News crew is a fun and educational show to allow kids to know what's going on inside and outside the classroom. Sometimes we even interview kids.
Hey everyone, I'm Miss Ingberg, and
I'm sure you've seen this fabulous video from my news crew. I'm super excited about having a news crew this year. In fact, it wasn't even my idea. It was the idea of my students. And one thing I've learned over my 13 years in teaching is listen to students. Students have amazing ideas, and when it comes from students, it means more. And they're going to put more effort behind what they do. And it also increases their motivation to come to school. And this whole news crew hopefully has inspired one of them to maybe even do this as a possible career. So I'm super excited about it, and I know my other students love watching the videos every week. And I hope this video has even inspired you to maybe possibly think about having a news crew in your classroom or school. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching. Confetti. Human room.
Thank you so much for listening. Let's give a round of applause to my news crew. Once again, we really appreciate the opportunity to get to share what we do here at Lewisburg Elementary School. Once again, I appreciate you guys listening. Lewisburg Elementary, this is just a taste of what we do every day. Of course, I wish I had a lot more time because I could have shared a lot more with you. I know you guys are ready to move on, but thanks once again for your time, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Ingberg. That was an awesome presentation. I think you've raised the bar now with the spotlight. But and I want to thank the news crew for coming in and giving up your time today. I think we've got some future broadcasters there at Lewisburg Elementary. So great job there, and y'all keep up the good work at Lewisburg Elementary. And Singberg, once again, I want to thank you for all you do every day for our students. Ms. Morrison, thank you for coming today and appreciate all that you do. And Ms. Anderson, we appreciate all your hard work. You're doing an excellent job as principal at Lewisburg Elementary School. Thank you. Appreciate y'all coming. And that concludes my superintendent.
Thank y'all very much. The next item on our agenda is the attorney's report.
Yes, Madam Chairman, we have a potential litigation matter to discuss and one contract matter involving facility usage, but both of those will need to be discussed in executive session.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of our minutes of January 3rd, 2019 board meeting. I need a recommendation from the superintendent, please, and with the motion.
I
make a motion.
I make a motion that we approve January 3, 2019 board meeting minutes.
One second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion is passed. The next item is the consent agenda. Items A to Z, are there any changes that need to be made? If there are none, we need our recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend to the board to approve the consent agenda.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion is passed. Next item up for business is the new business item A, permission to construct the, we're doing that one. B. Statement of revenue and expenditures November 2018, Essie Rose.
Our general revenues, general fund revenues so far for the year through November, $78,147,977. If we compare that to last year, at this time we were at $73,849,489. That's a 6% increase, which is a combination of ad valorem, MAT, and homestead. Total to the budget, we're at 33%. We received 33% of our revenues. All revenues received for the year, we're at $91,063,453. That's about 31% of what we for the year. That's about 31% of the entire budget revenues. For our general fund expenditures, we're $86,288,966 compared to last year. which was 82,026,028. That's also up 5%, but that is mainly due to the approved salary increases, but that's actually a lower percentage than was budgeted, so we're under budget for that, which is fantastic. We're at 36% currently for general fund expenditures. All funds, we are sitting at 110,694,180 on expenditures out of total budget expenditures of 315,647,384, and we're right at 35% for the year. So our revenues, again, those are up. We should start seeing the larger receipts for Avalorum in January. We haven't received those yet. That'll be the 20th, so we're really excited and anxious to see how that goes. And again, our expenditures are actually lower than budgeted. So projected for the year, we should come in under budget for that pay increase.
Any recommendations from the superintendent?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the statement of revenues and expenditures for November 2018.
Need a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion passed. The next item is statement of cash flow November 2018, Ms. Graves.
Okay, our district maintenance cash balance through November 2018 is $71,160,462. Total of all funds cash balance is $99,724,914. And our invested balance as of the end of November is $27,003,280.
I need a recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the statement of cash flow for November 2018.
I need a motion. Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion is passed. The next item is combined balance sheet November 2018, Ms. Graves.
Our general funds fund balance at the end of November is $77,449,068. Compared to last year, at this time, it's $81,506,879, which is down 5%, but we still have not hit the threshold where we've caught up to where we transferred the $10 million from district to capital projects. So we're actually technically up $5 million over last year if you want to compare apples to apples.
Recommendations?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the combined balance sheet for November 2018.
Need a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, so the motion passed. The next item is certification of bank reconciliations November 2018, Ms. Graves.
All bank statements have been reconciled with no exceptions.
Need a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the certification of bank reconciliations for November 2018.
Need a motion? Second? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is carried. The next one is revised board policy GBQAA. Ms. Weeks.
Yes, ma'am, we're requesting a revision to this policy to change it to say that we will pay teachers that are coming to us from out of state with 15 years of experience rather than the previous 5. We believe this will help us recruit better teachers and teachers from other states can come to us if we increase that level.
Recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GBQAA reemployment after retirement.
Motion? Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion passed. The next item is personnel, Mr. V. Alexander.
Yes, ma'am. Personnel packet pages 1 to 3 are recommendations. Pages 4 through 6 are personnel changes. Page 7 is for unlicensed employees, substitute rate of pay to those listed. Page 8 is a memo for myself on a correction for supplemental amount for Ms. Moore, who is the new JDC coordinator for math issues. So we've got that adjusted now. Page 9 is a memo for Ms. Geist, the director of special education, on 2 new speech language pathologists that were budgeted for this year. Page 10 is a memo from nurse Patsy Davis in health services requesting approval to hire a registered nurse to fill a nursing unit that was posted in case needed this year. She does need it at this point. Page 11 is a memo from Mr. Fleming, principal of Lewisburg High School, doing a play at the school. He'll have an employee work extra in the afternoon at $27 per hour and work 4 days. He'll work up to 8 hours per week until the last 2 weeks before opening night, and he could work up to 5 days per afternoon on those 2 weeks. Page 12 is a request from this week's assistant superintendent, Ms. Garter, who will teach 2 online courses at the rate of $2,500 for a total of $5,000. One of those courses was for Horn Lake High School, and the other course is a combined class at Olive Branch High School and Lake Conroe High School. She'll receive that beginning January 2nd, 2019, when the class began, and it ends on May 6, 2019. Page 13 is a request for additional pay from Ms. Ingram, our Director of Federal Programs, and Ms. Stafford. She will work in tutoring at the JDC, Juvenile Detention Center, during enrichment periods. Enrichment days are non-state holidays. They're days that the district is closed to our JDC students, unless we receive instruction during these days. At the rate of $27 per hour beginning March the 11th and ending June 30th.
Recommendation,
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented.
need a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, the motion is passed. The next item is student discipline, Mr. Finley.
Madam Chairman, we have student discipline matters to address in executive session.
Thank you. I need a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board should enter executive session for the following matters. 1 matter of potential litigation, 1 contract matter regarding use of facilities, and student discipline matters. I need a motion, please. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Mr. Chase will come back and inform you whether we will stay in executive